You've seen this font everywhere, right? Mario, Sonic, Wii Sports, Star Fox, games, movies, websites, train stations. This font, Shin Go, is the font of Japan and has been here for over half a century. Who came up with this? How did this happen? And most importantly, how do you fit the entirety of Japanese hiragana, katakana, and kanji into a keyboard? To understand Shin Go, we have to go back to the Second World War. After the atomic bombings and the surrender of Japan, the country underwent one of the most dramatic periods of economic and infrastructural rebuilding in modern history, known as the Japanese Economic Miracle. The country transitioned from a war-torn nation into a global industrial and economic powerhouse. This rapid transformation required the creation of a new visual identity for Japan, one that could project efficiency, progress, and technological innovation, and typography became a key element in shaping this new image. The design needs of post-war Japan were extensive. Public infrastructure, government communications, and the expansion of corporate branding all called for new, modernized approach to typography. This paralleled similar developments in post-war Germany, where DIN 1451 emerged as the standard for public signage, and in Switzerland, where Helvetica was born as a reflection of the Swiss focus on neutrality and clarity. In Japan, the traditional ornate typefaces used prior to the war no longer fit the new emphasis on functionality and global competitiveness, and probably shouldn't be used anyways because no one wanted to be reminded of Imperial Japan. And one man knew exactly how to do it. Eiichi Kono, a type designer who had been exposed to Western digital design movements during his time studying in the UK, created Shin Go in 1975, inspired by the Gothic font of the Western world. Shin Go, literally translating to New Gothic, is a sans serif font that combines the functional principles of modernism with the unique needs of the Japanese language. The sans serif design was influenced by the geometric precision of Helvetica and DIN 1451, both of which had gained international prominence by the 1970s. But while Helvetica was designed to accommodate the Latin alphabet's 26 letters, Shin Go had to manage the complexities of the Japanese writing system, which includes thousands of kanji characters, as well as the syllabic alphabets of hiragana and katakana. This made Shin Go a much more ambitious project, as it needed to maintain readability, simplicity, and visual consistency across a much larger and more varied set of characters. The success of Shin Go lies in its ability to simplify complex kanji characters without losing their legibility or cultural significance. Kanji, borrowed from Chinese, are intricate logograms, with each character representing a concept or object. This contrasts with the more straightforward structure of hiragana and katakana, which represent phonetic syllables. Kono's design managed to unify the visual aesthetics of these disparate systems by using even stroke widths, geometric shapes, and balanced proportions that created a harmonious appearance across all scripts. Shin Go's design is also deeply rooted in Gestalt psychology, specifically the principle of simplicity. Gestalt theory argues that humans tend to process simple, orderly shapes more quickly than complex or irregular forms. This is particularly relevant in the case of kanji, which can be highly detailed and intricate. By reducing the visual complexity of these characters, Shin Go improves cognitive processing speed, enabling readers to recognize and understand kanji more quickly in both everyday reading and high-stress environments like public signage or emergency instructions. The rise of digital technology in the late 20th century introduced new challenges for typographers worldwide, but nowhere were these challenges more pronounced than in Japan. While Western languages could easily be adapted to early computer systems, which were designed with the Latin alphabet in mind, the Japanese writing system required a more complex solution. Adapting the thousands of kanji characters along with hiragana and katakana to early digital encoding systems posed significant hurdles. In the West, early computer systems used ASCII encoding, which was limited to 128 characters, enough to represent the basic Latin alphabet, numbers, and some punctuation. For Japanese, this was insufficient. Japanese typographers and engineers developed the Shift JIS encoding system in the 1980s, which expanded the character set to include the vast array of kanji required for everyday communication. While this allowed computers to handle Japanese characters, it didn't solve the problem of how to display them legibly on low-resolution digital screens. Kanji characters are particularly difficult to render on digital platforms because they consist of multiple strokes, often densely packed together. Early bitmap fonts, which used pixel grids to represent characters, struggled to display kanji clearly, especially on low-resolution displays. The result was often a blurry, pixelated mess that was difficult to read. The issue became even more pronounced with the rise of personal computers, which were increasingly being used for word processing, email, and web browsing in Japan. Vector fonts, which represent characters as scalable outlines rather than fixed pixel grids, eventually solved this problem. Vector-based typefaces could be resized without losing their clarity, making them ideal for displaying complex characters, like kanji, across a wide range of screen resolutions. Shin Go was particularly well-suited for this transition because of its geometric simplicity. Its even stroke widths and clean lines made it more adaptable to digital rendering technologies than many older, more ornate Japanese typefaces. In the modern era, the UTF-8 encoding system has largely replaced Shift JIS, allowing for seamless handling of Japanese text across the internet and on digital platforms. However, the success of fonts like Shin Go in digital environments owes just as much to their visual adaptability as to advancements in encoding technology. Shin Go's design continues to make it a popular choice for web design, mobile applications, and digital user interfaces across Japan. When discussing Shin Go, it's important to understand its place within the broader context of global typography. While Shin Go is often referred to as Japan's Helvetica, it also shares a strong lineage with other modernist fonts, most notably DIN 1451 in Germany. These typefaces emerged from a similar design philosophy rooted in the modernist movement of the early 20th century, which emphasized functionality, legibility, and neutrality over ornate or decorative elements. One of the main similarities between Shin Go and these Western fonts is their shared emphasis on neutrality. Much like Helvetica, Shin Go is designed to blend into the background, allowing the content it conveys to take center stage. This makes it ideal for use in public signage, where clarity and legibility are paramount. But Shin Go also carries cultural significance that sets it apart from its Western counterparts. In many ways, it reflects Japan's ability to merge traditional aesthetics with modernist principles, creating a typeface that is both functional and deeply rooted in Japanese culture. As digital design has evolved, user experience, or UX, and user interface, or UI, design have become increasingly important. Designers must now create interfaces that allow users to interact with digital content quickly and intuitively, often across multiple devices and screen sizes. In this context, typography plays a critical role in shaping how users perceive and navigate digital environments. Shin Go's minimalist design and geometric proportions make it particularly well-suited for digital interfaces. Its sans serif structure allows for clear legibility, even at small sizes, which is essential for mobile apps, websites, and software platforms. This is especially important in Japan, where the complexity of the writing system means that fonts must be able to handle dense blocks of text without becoming visually overwhelming. One of the key principles of UX design psychology is cognitive load theory, which posits that the human brain can only process a limited amount of information at once. Fonts that are too ornate or difficult to read increase the cognitive load on users, making it harder for them to process information quickly. By contrast, Shin Go's clean, minimalist design reduces the amount of mental effort required to read and interpret text, allowing users to focus on the content itself rather than the typography. A study conducted by Nielsen Norman Group in 2020 found that minimalist fonts like Shin Go can improve reading speed and user comprehension by up to 15% in digital environments. This makes Shin Go particularly effective in high information density interfaces, such as transportation apps or financial dashboards, where users need to process complex information in a short amount of time. Additionally, Shin Go aligns with Fitts law, a key principle of UX design that governs how quickly users can move their cursor or finger to interact with a target. Fitts' law states that the time required to interact with an object is influenced by the size and distance of the target. Shin Go's geometric structure and consistent spacing make text elements easier to locate and click, improving the overall usability of the interface. This is particularly important in mobile app design, where screen space is limited and text must remain legible at small sizes. Moreover, Shin Go's versatility across different screen sizes and devices ensures a consistent user experience, whether on smartphones, tablets, or desktop computers. As digital technology continues to evolve, Shin Go's ability to balance clarity with aesthetic simplicity makes it an invaluable tool for Japanese digital design. Shin Go's influence extends far beyond the world of typography. It is a reflection of Japan's broader cultural transformation in the post-war era. As Japan rebuilt itself from the devastation of World War II, the country sought to project a new image, one of technological innovation, global competitiveness, and modernity. Typography played a crucial role in shaping this image, and Shin Go became one of the key visual symbols of modern Japan. Shin Go's widespread usage in public signage, corporate branding, and government communications has made it a ubiquitous part of Japan's visual landscape. In subway stations, airports, and highways, Shin Go's clear, readable forms help guide millions of people through Japan's complex urban environments. The font's legibility makes it ideal for use in high-traffic areas, where quick comprehension is essential for maintaining the flow of people and information. In the corporate world, Shin Go has been adopted by some of Japan's largest companies, including Sony, Toyota, and Panasonic. These companies, which are global leaders in their respective industries, have used Shin Go in their branding to project an image of efficiency, precision, and technological advancement. By associating themselves with a modern, functional typeface like Shin Go, these corporations have positioned themselves as pioneers of innovation and excellence. Sociologically, Shin Go also reflects Japan's values of order, simplicity, and harmony. Japan's cultural traditions emphasize balance and minimalism, values that are evident in everything from architecture to tea ceremonies. Shin Go, with its geometric precision and clean lines, embodies these same principles, creating a visual language that is both functional and aesthetically pleasing. In this sense, Shin Go is more than just a typeface. It is a cultural artifact that reflects Japan's journey from a war-torn nation to a global leader in technology and design. By combining traditional aesthetics with modernist design principles, Shin Go has become a symbol of Japan's ability to innovate while remaining deeply connected to its cultural roots. Shin Go is more than a typeface. It's a reflection of Japan's modernization, cultural identity, and technological prowess. Created in the wake of Japan's post-war economic recovery, Shin Go has become an integral part of the country's visual landscape, shaping everything from public signage to corporate branding to digital interfaces. Much like Helvetica in the West or DIN 1451 in Germany, Shin Go exemplifies the power of functional design to shape how we navigate and interact with the world. As Japan continues to evolve in the digital age, Shin Go remains a crucial tool in the country's design toolkit. Its ability to balance the demands of modern technology with the cultural aesthetics that have defined Japan for centuries ensures that it will remain a vital part of Japan's design landscape for years to come.